Hello everybody, this is Goofsome Fox coming at you with a match here in the buffed Roswell Jegan, which was buffed during the August 2024 units adjustments. And yeah, the Roswell Jegan is a mobile suit I had been meaning to cover for quite a while now. I just never got around to really making a video on it, but yeah, here it is in its buffed state. Which, yeah, even though I never made a video on this suit prior to the buff, I could agree with most that it was in some need of some help. So, really cool to see that they did end up buffing this suit, and, yeah, we got quite a bit of a list here, so we'll jump right into it here. So the Roswell Jegan is a 550 cost general. I should mention this is also a rated match if I haven't already. And starting off with the first buff, we don't actually have anything for the unit statistics itself. The main thing, or the first thing we have here is going to be for the Roswell Jegan's Beam Saber, where they increase the compensation for lower melee damage. Next is the sub-weapon, the Waist Hand Grenade, where the power was increased from 1,900 to a flat 2,000. And then the next sub-weapon is going to be the Fin Funnels ×4 Pincer. This has the most changes out of anything on the buffed list here. And for this, the power was increased from 375 to 400. The heat rate was reduced from 50% to 45%. The cooldown time was shortened from 2 seconds to 1.5 seconds. Stagger accumulation value was increased. The lock-on range has been increased. Reduce time to lock on to a target, and shorten the time until the next attack to make it easier to hit a target. So, yeah, funnels here got a whole lot of work done to them, which very understandable because the funnels on this suit are honestly not the best by any means, especially when you compare it to the funnels that the Saikumo test Raid Doga has. So, really nice to see these get some changes, and the final change we have here is going to be to the Fin Funnels Defend. Those are your shield funnels, very similar to the new Gundam funnels, just really on a lesser scale. And what they did for this is that the overheat was shortened from 15 seconds to 12 seconds, and the defense bonus compensation has been increased. And yeah, that's everything for the buff list here for the Roswell Jegan. I do apologize if I went through it a little quick, but I do want to try to get my thoughts both on the buff and this suit as a whole, so yeah, I did kind of rush through them there, but yeah, really the buffs that they did give the suit, I do think are a very nice start for the Roswell Jegan. Prior to this, the suit was really hard to, not really hard to play, but just hard to really get anything done with it. The weapons are okay for the most part. The grenades do have a very interesting aspect where you can use them while boosting, and it's not like the typical grenade trick where you start throwing the grenade then boost, but you can throw mid-boost, so I am glad to see that they did increase the damage for that, since I do think the hand grenades on this suit are a pretty nifty weapon. You can also stun with 2 of them, and it readies up quick enough to where you can actually get the stun if you land both grenades, so really nice to see that get added, but really want to focus on the 2 fin funnels that they gave the suit, because, well, I mean, they already gave it 2 funnels, but the 2 funnels that they buffed for it, yeah, definitely the lock-on range being increased for the pincer funnels is really nice, because that was one of the complaints that I and I think a few others had about this suit, is that you really didn't have that good of a lock-on range when it came to the funnels, which really felt kind of weird for how I feel like the suit is supposed to be played. Even though you are a general, I do feel like you are meant to be more of a support to your teammates. Like, not a support in the traditional sense, but really just, you know, you want to stick by your teammates and just kind of lock on with the funnels, do some extra damage, and help them get stuns on top of what your teammates are already doing. So I guess it's really more appropriate to say I feel like this is more of an assist suit than necessarily a support. But yeah, and also reduce time to lock onto a target as well. That's also really nice. That's something I think I have noticed while playing the suit, is that it is much easier to lock onto a target. And everything else they did give this as well, the reduced cooldown and the increase to damage, I think it's all some really nice starts. And then for the Fin Funnels Defend as well, this was another thing that I believe people took issue to, is that the defense funnels really just weren't viable in the slightest. They are nothing compared to the funnels that the regular new Gundam has or the high new has, and they're definitely not like the HWS funnels, but the HWS, I think, has a different method to how it calculates its defense, so not really going to consider that for this example here, but really just comparing it to other traditional shield funnels. The ones that the Roswell Jegan had just really were not that good. And now I think they are a bit better. I still think they are, keeping it a bit lower resistance, just because it is lower cost and all. But I do believe it is better. Again, a lot of the changes that I think they have made to this suit so far really just kind of feels like the start to it being a good suit. If it was bad before, I do think it is playable now. It is a bit more viable than what it was in the past, and more people have been playing the suit as well. I have noticed an increase in Roswell Jegan players since this buff did happen. Did try to go through the wrong side of the hole there, but luckily with my double jump I was able to get on the platform here. But yeah, moving back to the Roswell Jegan, yeah, it feels like you can actually play this suit and get some decent results now, because just before it really felt like a lacking mobile suit, which really did suck, because when I did initially see the Roswell Jegan, it was a suit like, oh, I really do want to try this, because not only is it a UC Engage suit, which I do really like the suits from UC Engage, but just overall, the concept did seem like something that I'd be able to use like a more of a mid-range general type mobile suit, and really it was disappointing when I did get to playing it, and it just was not the best suit at all. So yeah, I keep saying it, yeah, I think it's playable now. It's in a much better state. It just feels better to play, and again, more people have been using it, so hopefully, that's going to give the devs the statistics they need to see if this suit is in need of another buff. I don't think I've really heard people talking about it yet. I don't know if Flailfoo's made a video on the buffed Roswell Jegan, and if he did, I do need to see if he has it so I can watch it myself, because I would be interested to hear, anyone else's thoughts on the buffed Roswell Jegan here, and especially what maybe some players may have thought of it before. If, some people thought it was good, some people thought it was bad, and if the buffs did anything. But for me personally, yeah, I think it's a nice start. I think they could probably stand to buff the suit maybe a little bit more. Not really sure what changes they could make. Like, I think it's just going to be, testing out these buffs some more and really seeing how they end up on the long run. But, hey, looks like we have a win for our team here. Gonna be sending a few praises here. And let's see what our stats are. 4th place with 4 kills and 2 loss. Really nothing too extravagant here for my stats here, but overall not too bad. And yeah, it's going to do it for the match there in the Roswell Jegan. And yeah, I really kind of gave my closing thoughts already on how I feel about this suit, both in its previous state and its current buff state. Yeah, I think it's going to be more of a long run thing, like how well this suit is going to perform going forward. I'm also taking into account, too, that, over time we are probably going to get more 550 cost suits as well, so really going to be interesting to see how well the suit starts performing, and if people do keep playing it after, like, some time. Because sometimes that's what kind of happens, is a suit might get buffed, and people might play it for a bit, but then after that it kind of dies off, so we'll see if people still are using the Roswell Jegan further on here, but yeah, that's all I have to say for this video here, so comment down below what you think about the buffed Roswell Jegan. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and with that, I will see you all in the next one. Later.